Okay, welcome to the Country Castle, and I've had a lot of new followers recently, and I've been getting so many questions, whether you follow me on Instagram, which I'm not really over there a lot. I've really just decided to focus my efforts on making videos for YouTube, and I just so enjoy it that I just forget about Instagram. But over the last few months, I have been grabbing questions from followers, and I thought that I have enough that I would do a Q&A video just so that you can kind of get to know me and some of the things about me. I love these kind of videos because I feel like it's a great way to connect with people and learn that we all have similar interests and maybe learn something that we didn't know. And so I'm going to start with a little Country Castle Q&A. And my very first question, and I've had this a few times, are all of my children biological? And yes, they are. And I have no twins. So I have 8 kids. Their ages range from 18 to 2.5. My first group of children was within 5 years. We had 4 kids, and then there was a 4-year gap, and we decided we wanted one more baby, which was my son Teddy. And we had a couple surprise babies, and then we just knew we had one more. So we kind of have what we call the 2 separate families, the older and the youngers. And it's amazing. In fact, that leads me to my next question, which is, did you know that you wanted a big family? No, we knew we wanted about 4 or 5 children, and we settled on 5, and we got 8. So blessed and so grateful for all of our children, because I know there is so much struggle with infertility or just feeling like you want to add to your family, but maybe your partner isn't on board with that. And so there's a lot of things involved in planning a family and growing a family. I know nothing about planning a family because we just would get pregnant, and we just kept welcoming in each child. And that was another question, was how many years apart are some of my kids? So my first 2 kids are 18 months apart, and then I had a baby 13 months later. So my first 3 children were 2 years and 9 months and younger. Like my oldest was 2.5 when I had my youngest. And then, I had my daughter Kitty 2.5 years later. But it's just been, the age gaps are between 13 months to 2 years to 4 years, because I have that gap in between. I always have my hat off to young moms who have little kids. It is a lot of work. And now that I have my older children and then I have young kids, I don't know how I survived the first stage of having children, because it's so much work. I just remember that we did tons of park dates, lots of driving in the car for the kids to just calm down and sleep. I remember just doing tons of play dates with friends. And now that we're in a completely different phase of life, my older kids help my younger kids all the time. And not that we parentify our children or that we're putting the load on them. It is just something they love to do. They start to take ownership for the children. It's so funny. My teenagers will sometimes scold me for not being more strict on certain rules with the little kids. And I always tell them, you guys are going to be phenomenal parents. You're going to be even more strict than me. One of my older sons, Harry, he's 16, almost 17. He is full protector of little Sophie, which is our youngest. And when she gets upset, she goes straight to Harry. She's so sweet and just loves her big brother. So the dynamic is really awesome. If you're wondering, how is it having a gap, or older kids and younger kids, it's the best. So don't hesitate on that. It is wonderful. And those older kids get the opportunity to love and serve these little children, and it's just super special. And I got another question. How old are you? So I am 40 years old. I just turned 40 and in December. And I've had people like say that I look like I'm 25, which is like the best compliment ever. I definitely work at it to stay looking young and pretty. There was a time where my skin was falling apart and my body was just really worn out from having so many babies. And over the last 2 years, it's been my priority to really take care of my skin. I take care of my body. I eat really well. And it's just vital now that you're 40, you know, like I think in your 20s, you just don't appreciate your beautiful skin and your strong body. And then you get older and you realize I better build up my strength now before I hit 50 in 10 years and 60. So, yeah, I'm 40 years old. Oh yeah. And that was like another question was, when did I have my first baby? I had my first baby when I was 21. I got married at 19, super young. I have been married for 20 years and I've like basically been having children for 20 years. So I don't know what it's like to just be single and not have children. I literally graduated from high school, met the love of my life, and we started having a family pretty soon after we got married. And now here we are with 8 kids. Okay. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? This is a great question. I am a total introvert. I have a lot of social anxiety. I can do like this in front of the camera because I'm not quite in front of like people. But I am very much a homebody. I'm not someone who just talks to people randomly. I guess it maybe depends on my mood. My husband, we took this test called the 16 personalities test. It is a great test. I will put it below. I thought it was fascinating. I am like a 78% introvert and my husband is like an 85% extrovert. We are basically opposites in every way, which makes us work really well together. Okay, what's on your bucket list? Travel with all of my family. It is like so expensive to travel with 10 people and it's just a lot of work. And on my bucket list is to go out of the country, Hawaii or somewhere tropical or even a European vacation with all 10 of us. I've just always have wanted to travel with my family. Years ago, 20 years ago, Jack and I moved to England and we lived there for a year while he did a master's degree. And we've always wanted to go back. We lived in Bath and that is also on my bucket list, is to take my whole family back to Bath. We lived there with my little baby. Like I was like a brand new mom and I moved across to another country and it taught me a lot about what you really don't need to be a mother, you know, how we think we need all of these things for your baby. And it really was just living as simple and minimal as we could. And it taught me a lot about how you don't need all the fluffy nursery things and all the things that are promoted. You can just, the baby just needs you and some clean clothes and diapers. What is something you want to be remembered for? I always feel like I want to be remembered for just being like loving and kind. I want to be remembered for not judging other people and for people being able to come to me and share like the hard things, always feeling loved and accepted. That is 100% like, I don't care about anything else. I just want people to remember that they always felt loved by me. What's one of the most important lessons you've learned from your past? That I'm not always right. And I need to be humble enough to know that I am wrong sometimes. And that life is what we make it. I remember just obsessing about certain things and feeling like I needed to control everything in my life for it to work out or be perfect. And perfectionism and something being perfect is pretty boring. Being able to just accept what is, being able to live and grow the life you want is something I wish I knew earlier in life, but I know it now. So I don't know if I have regret from the past, because I know we're always learning and we're always growing and we can cultivate the life that we want. It's just a matter of choosing it every day. Because I think I spent a lot of time feeling bad for myself and feeling like I couldn't do things. And then I just decided that like I can do anything I set my mind to, and that's what I do now. What's one talent you have that no one knows about? I was just gonna kind of rephrase the question a little bit. What's a talent that I have that maybe you don't know about? Because people around me know. But for years, I was given vocal training, and I am a trained classical soprano, and I love singing. It's one of my passions. I will sing Broadway, theater, pop music, whatever music's on, I am singing to it. But I am classically trained, and it's just a passion of mine. I hope one day that I can perform again. I love performing. So as much as I am an introvert, I'm not when I'm on stage. Like, I love stage performing. I've been in musicals. I've performed in front of lots of people. And one day I hope that I can get back to that. That would be amazing. But my focus has just been on my family, and they hear me sing all the time. So I sing for them. What do you look at to keep yourself motivated and inspired? I am very stimulated by my environment, and I am very impressionable. So when I see something, I very much want to either try it or I get excited about a project just because I have this emotion. It's probably linked to my anxiety, but I have this emotion that gets really excited about something. So whether it's a house project or gardening or cooking something delicious, my motivator is I can see the potential and it's gonna look amazing. I also love looking at Pinterest for inspiration if I'm like kind of looking for decor or mood boards. But I'm a very creative person. And so for me to be inspired, it's just living life very much inspires me. I used to love Instagram for inspiration, and I started my Instagram account 12 years ago when my daughter was a newborn and I got my first smartphone, and I do not like Instagram anymore. It is like a place of constant anger and triggering politics. So for me, the platform has not been inspiring me as it used to. So I'm actually off Instagram. I have it deleted off my phone. I have no desire to be on that platform. I am loving YouTube because I feel a lot more inspired by the audience, by the content that I am seeing and that I am getting from YouTube. I can just do without all the angry politics and stuff. Okay, so I have 2 more questions left, and I am going to answer this one. What are your top 3 passions? My top 3 passions would be family, 100%, my spiritual life with God, and creating, like making things beautiful. Those are my 3 passions, and whatever that is in creation, I'm just highly inspired to create. And then my last one is, how did you pick YouTube as your platform, and how do you have time to film videos? I picked YouTube because I felt like I could express myself in a more creative way, and I felt like I could do more with having long form videos, and I wasn't confined to the 1-minute reels of Instagram or the stories. Like, it just felt like I was just throwing out my creativity into the darkness. It just feels like it just is not what it used to be. YouTube has allowed me to have more of that creativity. I love filming. Setting up a camera and just like living life is way more authentic. It's way more easy than trying to capture something, if that makes sense. And then I just do my editing in the late nights of when my kids are asleep. I will do my editing. I do all my own editing. I am still learning a lot about sound and microphones and things like that, but it's been a wonderful journey, and I am so happy to be here, and I will continue to share recipes, home decor, vlogging. I really love doing vlogging, but I want to also hear from you. If you have additional suggestions, things you would like to see, questions, I will log them away. I would love to hear them in the description below, so absolutely keep them coming. I love hearing from you, and I'm so glad that I could do this question and answer today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.